I didn't move. Not when the phone vibrated. Not when the screen glowed between us. Not even when my heartbeat began pounding so loudly, I was sure it would wake him. Mark lay on his back, mouth slightly open, one arm stretched toward me like a bridge I no longer trusted. The message stayed there. She opened the door, didn't she? The light from the phone felt sharper than it should have been, like it was cutting through the dark and straight into me. My fingers hovered above the screen. I had never touched Mark's phone before. Not because I couldn't, but because trust becomes habit. And habits become blindness. Slowly, carefully, I lifted the phone from the mattress. Mark shifted. I froze. His breathing paused for half a second, then continued. Only then did I exhale. The lock screen slid open. No password. My stomach twisted. He had never needed one. Because he never imagined I'd look. The messaging app was still open. Only one thread visible at the top. Not Iris. Just the letter. Minimal. Careful. Like someone who never wanted a full name attached to their shadow. My thumb trembled as I opened it. The conversation wasn't long. But it was heavy. She opened the door, didn't she? Mark, not yet. You're lying. Mark, she doesn't understand what she saw. She never does at first. Mark, I'll handle it. You always say that. My throat tightened. I scrolled. Mark, you worry too much. Because she's closer than you think. Mark, she trusts me. Everyone does, until they don't. Mark, don't start. Don't get careless. The last message was time-stamped just minutes ago. Meaning. They had been talking while I lay beside him. While he pretended sleep. While I pretended safety. I gently placed the phone back exactly where it had been. Then I turned my face toward the wall and cried silently into the pillow, like someone grieving something that was still breathing beside her. Morning came too fast. Light crept into the room like nothing bad had ever happened. Mark woke cheerful. Too cheerful. Coffee, he asked. Sure, I said. My voice surprised me again. It still sounded like normal. We sat at the table like actors who forgot the script had changed. He stirred sugar. I watched the spoon circle the cup. Round and round. Like a habit that never questions itself. You barely slept, he said. Jet lag, I lied. He nodded. Then casually added, You went into the hallway room yesterday. It wasn't a question. It was a quiet placement of truth on the table between us. My fingers tightened around the mug. I noticed it was open. And curiosity won. He studied my face. Carefully. Like a man watching glass for cracks. And what did you see? I met his eyes. For the first time since the secret, I didn't look away. Storage, I said. He smiled. But it didn't reach his eyes. Good. That single word felt like a door closing softly somewhere. After Mark left for work, the house changed again. The air didn't feel still anymore. It felt alert. Like something waiting. I returned to the secret room. But it wasn't the same. Some photos were gone. Folders moved. The laptop was shut. Someone had been there. And it hadn't been me. My skin prickled. He knew. He had come back before breakfast. Or someone else had. I stepped inside slowly. The wall where my schedules were pinned now looked edited. Less obvious. Cleaner. Like crime scene makeup. I opened the drawer again. The letters to Iris were still there. But new ones sat on top. Recent. The ink still dark. I picked one up. She's closer than expected, watching more than pretending. If she connects the wrong dots, everything changes. I don't know how much longer I can keep both lives quiet. Both lives. I swallowed. Another letter. Sometimes I look at her and feel almost guilty. Almost. But guilt never protected anyone. My hands went cold. That's when my phone buzzed. An unknown number. I hesitated. Then answered. Hello. A silence. A breathing. A soft. Female. Then a voice. Calm. Measured. Not hostile. Not kind. Just aware. Did you enjoy the room, Elara? My knees weakened. Who is this? A small breath on the other end. Someone Mark forgot to erase. My mouth dried. Your Iris. A pause. Then a quiet laugh. So he finally let you see. Why are you watching me? We're not watching you, she said gently. We're protecting something. From me. From what you might become if you learn the wrong version of the truth. My chest felt heavy. What is the truth? Another pause. Then softly. You married a man with two pasts, and you're living in the space between them. Before I could speak, she added. And Elara, once you stand there too long, you stop belonging to either side. The call ended. Just like that. No goodbye. No explanation. Just silence. I stared at my phone. And for the first time, the house felt smaller. Like the walls had moved closer. That evening, Mark came home earlier than usual. He brought flowers. I almost laughed. Almost. He set them on the table. You look tense, he said. Long day, I replied. He studied me again. Too carefully. Like he was searching for missing innocence. We ate quietly. Halfway through dinner, he reached across the table and touched my hand. His fingers were warm. Real. Familiar. And suddenly unfamiliar all at once. Elara, he said softly. Do you trust me? The question felt rehearsed. I looked at him. At the man I had loved. At the man who logged my tears. At the man with two lives. What does trust look like to you? I asked. He hesitated. Just long enough to reveal something. It looks like not opening doors that aren't yours. Silence sat between us. Then I smiled. And lied. Then I trust you. His shoulders relaxed. But mine didn't. Because something inside me had already started walking away from safety. That night, I couldn't sleep again. At 1:48 a.m., the front door clicked. Very softly. Mark didn't move. But I did. I slipped out of bed and crept down the hallway. The living room light was on. A woman stood near the shelf. Tall. Dark coat. Hair pulled back neatly. She turned slowly when she heard me. And for the first time, I saw Iris. Her eyes weren't cruel. They weren't kind either. They were knowing, like someone who had already read my ending. "You shouldn't be awake," she said. "And you shouldn't be here," I whispered. She smiled slightly. "Yet both of us are." My heart raced. "What do you want?" "To see you." "For what?" "To decide whether you're dangerous." My stomach twisted. "Dangerous to who?" She stepped closer, lowered her voice. "To the life Mark is trying to bury." She looked past me toward the bedroom. "He's good at pretending, isn't he?" "Yes," I said quietly. "So are you," she replied. Then she leaned in and whispered something that shattered the last piece of comfort I still carried. "You think you discovered the secret." She smiled softly. "Elara, you only found the doorway." She walked past me and disappeared into the night, leaving the house colder than before, leaving my heart louder than silence, and leaving me with one terrifying realization. The secret wasn't behind me. It was already inside my life. Subscribe to Moments and Meanings by Anne to watch the Part 3. Part 3 loading soonest. We share interesting and life lesson stories every day.